What's up, everybody? Today we've got a build breakdown on the lifted Civic here. It's been, I don't know, a year and a half, maybe 2 years since the last one. A little bit of stuff has changed, so I figured it's time to make a new one of these.
Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
These. So we'll go ahead and we'll just kind of start at the front and then work our way down to the back. Well, I guess first thing is the new livery we put on this side. If you missed that, I'll put a link right here. You can go check that out. But just some spray paint, and then I cut the stickers out on a little Cricut machine. So if you want to see exactly how all this happened, you can go check out that video from last week. But for the basics, this is a 99 Honda Civic EX sedan. It has a D16 Z6 out of the 92 to 95 Civics. Come out of a car like this one. So it has all the like OBD2 to OBD1 jumpers and stuff for the injectors and ECU and all that stuff. It's very dirty right now because this hasn't been cleaned since it went in here. And this car's done, I don't even know how many. It's been a lot of gamblers. Oil leaks everywhere, covered in mud. See all that? Leaking from pretty much everywhere you can think of, but as long as you keep oiling it, it's fine. It's just a gambler, it don't matter. That mount right there is one of the best things on this car. The factory EK mounts over here are garbage. Definitely recommend that on any EK, even if it's just a stock daily driver. Then we got the skid plate down there underneath. Got little angles cut in it back there so the suspension doesn't hit it when it flexes up and down and stuff. One thing that I don't like is we actually covered up the tow hitches right here to make the bracket to bolt the skid plate on. And then in the back here, it just bolts to the, there's like a brace that comes up right there and bolts to the rear engine mount, transmission mount. Right in there. See that piece of metal sticking up right here? Goes up to the transmission. Anyways, that's how the skid plate bolts on there. And then these are all the like jumper things that I was talking about. What you gotta do to run the OBD1 injectors to the OBD2 engine harness, because this is the factory engine harness for the car. I just converted a couple little things over, like the distributor here. This is just a conversion harness. Let's see if I can pull it out here a little bit. There you go, right like that. And then same for the ECU inside here. It's kind of a mess, but the ECU and everything's in the boxes here. Right, this top box is the jumper harness. You can kind of see it in there. This piece right here. And then in this bottom box is where the ECU is actually at. Just running a stock P28 ECU out of the 92-95 Civic. Then the front bumper I made. It's just the factory bumper. Then I took a Home Depot flat cart and cut the handle apart to make the little stinger thing. And then this was some old shelving. Welded on there. It has broke since then, but and then on the back I just did these little angle pieces for like some support for the bottom. You can see it's been smashed in pretty good. So I'm glad I put those little support pieces in there. But that was pretty basic for as far as the bumper goes. And then main thing y'all are probably wondering about is suspension. It's on 235/75 15s, which comes out to about a 29-inch tall tire. And then it's all factory 99 2000 EX Civic stuff. And then on the top of the strut is just a 3-inch spacer there. So, well, actually it's not quite 3 inches. You can go back and watch the video whenever we made these things, but they were just a little bit under. I think they're actually like 2 3/4 or something like that. But there's one of those on each corner. And for some reason the back still sags a little bit than the front. I guess the suspension geometry isn't even from front to back, so 3-inch spacer here and a 3-inch spacer here gets you a slightly different result. Guess I need to go and put like a 4 or 5-inch spacer in the back here, I don't know. But when it's fully loaded down, it does rub a little bit in the back, especially over some really rough bumps. And then ball joints are those adjustable uppers. I think they're from like Mevotech. And then the bottoms are the heavy duty lower ball joints. I got them from Rock Auto, but I think you can get them from HRG Engineering now. So I'll put a link in the description for that. And those things have held up for like 2 years now. I'm really impressed with those upper and lower ball joints. They're really good. And then the tie rod ends are just like a standard Moog problem solver tie rod end. Nothing fancy there. And then in the back, the same deal, spacer on top of the strut. And then I had a problem where I kept breaking control arms. So I ended up making like reinforced ones. Might be easier to see over here. That I like welded a steel plate on them. Keep them from bending. See, where are they at? There they are. There it is. So that right there is a piece of steel that I welded on it. Normally they have like a kind of a stamped shape to them. Yeah, here we go. Here's a good example. So this is actually a toe arm, but it's the same as the control arm. You can see how it's kind of like U-shaped or whatever. And on this one I went in and just welded this piece of steel on it. I carry this stuff around as extra axles and stuff. But that's really all for the suspension. It's pretty basic. Oh yeah, I did add HRG rear trailing arm drops. They're like an inch, I think. And that definitely helped. And that definitely helped out a bit. Kind of hard to see, but just go on the other side of that right there and kind of drop that down. Now I'm looking at this, I see that the trailing arm bushing is actually completely blown out on this side, which is safe to say it's probably blown out on this side also. So we might do a video in the near future on replacing those things. But yeah, so suspension's pretty simple. Nothing really crazy, just some spacers on top of the strut and some upgraded ball joints, and upper control arms reinforced a little bit, and then the trailing arm drop. Most people, when they're lifting a Civic, if they do anything over about 2 inches, you generally want to do a subframe drop in the front also. Helps keep your axles at a better angle and keeps some vibration down. Which this one actually has no subframe drop. It's got double stacked 1-inch spacers, stock wheels, and the cheapest axles I can get off Rock Auto. And I have yet to break one of these axles. But I have a feeling as a next gambler, we're going to snap at least 1, probably 2, maybe 3. This car's done like 4 gamblers now without any major breakdown, so it's time to push it a little bit harder. I think we're finally getting to the point where we can start trusting a little bit. In the first few gamblers, it was snapping control arms. Pretty much every time I saw a trail, I just control arm brake, control arm brake, control arm brake, constantly. And seemed to get that under control. And then wheel bearings kept going out. Oh yeah, I did do heavy duty wheel bearings. Almost forgot about that. And then ever since then, it's been relatively solid. So we'll see what happens. Next event is Tennessee, and they have a hoopty cross also. We might do the hoopty cross in this car. We'll see. Interior is just a stock Civic interior. Full of junk, tools, all kinds of spare parts, axles, control arms, all that good stuff. And then in the back here, whenever we were welding this roof rack thing on, hit the window with the welder, and it blew out that rear window. So what we ended up doing is coming here and chopped out the speaker deck, and then just made a wall right there. Added in some tubing and stuff that we linked into the roof rack thing. I call it the Exo mullet. You can kind of see why. And then made a little spot for the gas jugs, and then they ratchet strap in, and then behind the gas jug you got oil on this side and water on that side. And the spare tire mounts are just your standard generic trailer tire mount that you get from Harbor Freight, a couple bucks each. Welded those on to the bar right here, and it works out pretty nice. Just uses regular old lug nut, which I see now I'm missing one right here, which I can actually, I'm sure I've got tons of them on these extra spacers and stuff. But that's pretty much all. It's street legal, ready to go, registered, insured, everything. Pretty much gambler ready. Just waiting for the next event to come. If I missed anything, or if there's something specific that y'all are looking for an answer for, feel free to drop a comment. I'll do my best to answer whatever questions y'all have. But be sure to go down in the description, check out HRG Engineering and the Lifted Honda Society Facebook group. There's a bunch of really helpful people there. And in that group, they can pretty much take care of any issue you have. Between them and HRG Engineering, you'll be set. But I'll still do my best to answer whatever questions y'all have. But yeah, overall, I consider it still a pretty basic car. It's really nothing crazy. Just some strut spacers and some tire racks. I mean, it's not really too much to it. But thanks for watching. I'll do a new video every Wednesday, so be sure to hit that subscribe button if you like the Honda stuff. And we'll see you next week for another one.